Alright. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the land close to the sun. I am your resident savior. Well, we're not really at the land close to the sun today. This is a bit different, and you will see why in just a moment, even though you already know because it's in the title. Um, before we do this, let me introduce my guest. A very esteemed member of this community who I highly respect deeply, William Kingdom.
And thank you for letting me be on the show.
He who created became the destroyed, right?
Exactly. Uh, once heard someone say, quoting someone else, if you don't tell your side of the story, someone else is going to tell it for you. And that's what we're here for today.
This man right here, Cameron Bash.
Kick a camper bash.
This, Cameron, welcome to the land of the unsavable. You you deserve this. Now, I want to go back to a point I made when I did my original fan video. I believe I said, and I've said it numerous times years before, I wouldn't do anything like this unless the person really deserves it. Well, Cameron Bash, you are at the top of the list right now. Hell, you may be the only person that we rip into today ever. So, I'd sit and listen if I was you, because you're gonna need this fucking wake up call. So, Mr. Kingdom, where do we start?
Alright, so I think a bit of background is needed, because the person in question and I have not had the best relationship. So I think to get right to it, let's do like I watched his video and I got a few things to say about that. But first, let's go down my timeline and what led me to meeting Mr. Bash. Sounds that good?
Absolutely.
Yes. Because that would wrap everything up in a neat little package, and I'll actually reveal why I was no longer in FAM and why I left. So that's a big scoop, big story. For anyone that ever really wanted to know the truth, here it is. Stay tuned for the end of this little segment right here. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I joined FAM at around October 2014, maybe a little bit earlier when I had discussions with BH, and but I'll label October 2014 as the official when I was brought in. It might have been a little bit earlier, but we'll just leave it at October 2014. I joined FAM. Because in November 2014, I'm sorry, that's when my first showcase came. I was involved. And I would just say this, my introduction to FAM was a bit rocky to start with. Like, I got along with BH and Rom very well, but I just say it was rocky because I had a background from sim, like simulation wrestling, and Rom or BH actually told me, one of the two told me, I can't remember quite who it was. I think it was Rom, that there was a lot of they were very hesitant to bring me in, basically because of the sim background. Because there are people in from the sim background that originally gave me a sour taste in the mouth. And one of those people, ironically enough, was Cameron Bash when he was brought in for that Rumble sort of thing before. And I think he dives into it in his video, but basically they had the sour taste from sim wrestlers in their mouth based on that. And from my experience, I had no idea Bash was in until probably Cyber Fan Day, because I was actually working audio for his match and his debut at that original Cyber Fan Day, and I was hyped. Like I knew a little bit earlier because I was in the know-how, because I recall BH and a lot of others were like asking my opinion on whether I should bring back, because I did have there, because I was good friends with BH, still am to this day, and just respected my opinion a bit. And I think he did go around everyone else, seeing if they want to bring Cameron in, and I said yes, because like I recognized the potential he could bring to us as a big name in the community, and also like um I wasn't that big of a fan of him just because I didn't know his core then, but I was actually hyped when I was editing the audio for his match. So at that point, there's no issues with me and Cam. Just happy to have him on board, and really excited to see what he could bring in. Now, back to the point of BH and Rom, like basically going around telling people that we're bringing Cam in, just sort of borders. I was also good friends with Dude at that point, still am. Um, and he was actually probably the smartest out of all of us, and pretty much left as soon as Cam was brought up. So if I had hindsight and I wasn't just starting in FAM then, I probably would have followed him and just left. So kudos to you, dude. So if anyone else wondered why Masslingster dude went missing after, let's say, Cyber Fam Day, because I think that's when his character was fired. That's pretty much why, because of Karen Bash. So if anyone's a fan of him, that's why. All right, so Cyber Fan Day, yeah, because this is when like sort of like I look back on it now, and sort of should have spoken up a bit more, because back then my mantra was not to mess with anything and just do what I was told, be a good worker. So, but now I realize I probably should have put my hand up and just stood up for myself more, considering how much of a POS CB is. But again, I didn't want to ruffle any feathers, so Cyber Fam Day comes and goes, and we're gearing up for Survival, I believe. This is when he really starts getting his fingers in the storyline pot. Because if you recall, Cyber Fan Day is when he just, of course, has to join in and win a championship on the first night because he's got an ego. And, you know, that's fine. Big debut. Anyone would have been happy with that. I would have been happy with something like that, you know? And then Survival comes around. This is when you realize that he signed this sort of, you know, I think he even says on the video, this is when he starts getting promoted to a leadership position as well around this time. So Survivor comes around, and we're gearing up for that. I was actually getting a big push. Like I was getting a push from my beginning, from Faniversary, where I was involved in the first match on the card, and um, I was really happy all the way up until Pandora, but I'll get to that. Actually, no, wait, I was happy with Pandora. I'll get to that later, but after Pandora's when shit turned south, obviously. But uh, Survival, I was originally going to like back to Worldwides. I was me and Luke Monet were gearing up to face off against Betrayal. That was the whole storyline we were going for. Um, and this was all mapped out by Rom, since I was basically like Anniversary 3. And this also started when I started getting being able to see creatively how things are shaping up. Like communication was really great between Rom and the rest of the wrestlers, or the rest of the roster, I should say, because like there's that community. You tell you what you were doing for the next pay per view and even beyond, so you could sort of see where the storyline was going. And Survivor comes on, and all of a sudden I'm facing. I think BH was very keen to have me have a face off with him at the survival match. Like, think the virtue spot, but with me, basically. Because, at that time, me and BH were really clicking as friends as well. So there is some politics there. I didn't see it as malicious. Like, I wasn't trying to be his friend to fucking, you know, uh, get in that top spot or any sort of spot. I was happy with wherever I was on the card. I was happy losing, or as it's because my philosophy is it's not about wins and losses. It's about and losses that make the star, sort of thing. And I was again I still am friends with BH, even though like I can't really talk to him much because he broke off communications. I'll just say that. Won't dive in too much with that because he's focusing on real life stuff, and I commend him for that. Right, commend, not condemn, sort of thing, because that's really admirable for him to do, and no hard feelings with that. But yeah. So basically, all of a sudden, I moved back into that. I forgot what else I did in Survival. I think it was the Gauntlet, one of the Gauntlets. No, that was Cyber Fam Day. Yeah, Cyber Fam Day was a Gauntlet, and I don't think I was. I did something that I can't even remember. Like, that's just how screwed up it was. Like, I couldn't even remember it to this day. But all I know is that what we were gearing towards changed, basically. And wouldn't you know who won the pony? As the great Jim Cornette said, Cameron Bash, 2 matches on the card. He has his title defense, and then he's in the main event tag match at a 5-on-5. And I'm not even gonna falter Virtue debuting here because, like, I can storyline wise, that was a good spot. I can see that. Like, I'm not faulting Virtue here, but I'm definitely gonna fault Bash here because he did not need those 2 fucking matches. And at this point, Luke Monet sort of dropped of the editing and all this sort of thing with his real life stuff, and he's like not as active as he was because, as I said, it was going to be me and him taking on, like, me, him, DNA, I believe, taking on Betrayal, if that's what my memory serves. Taking on Betrayal, and yeah, I don't see why Bash needed to be there. Like, I could have, like, again, like, I'm probably pandering to my ego a little bit here, but I definitely, or Virtue could have been in that Bash spot, and like I could still have that showdown with BH. We could still done that, but nah, Mr. Ego, Bash has to have all the fucking spotlights.
I want you to pause for a second. So,
Mm-hmm.
so he was getting really pushed in like his first fan match ever.
Yeah. Or yeah, because like his first match was Cyber Fam Day where he took the title from Devil.
Okay,
Which
so
I can understand booking wise because I think Devil was on the way out then as well, like the actual person behind Devil. But I that maybe that was because Bash was coming, like, because if dudes saw that, like, Devil probably didn't really want to do that. But I do know he also has. I won't dive into it, but he had real life stuff come up as well. So, and again, not faulting for any real life issues here. We all have our life, you know. But yeah, like, had no problems with him coming inside Fan Day, but And I didn't really have a problem with it back then, but obviously looking back, hindsight 2020 sort of thing, I do have a bit of a problem with it now.
So what's the time frame between his first match and these two other matches on whatever show it was? Like, was it
Oh,
a
it's the next.
year? Was it a
It was
year?
like it was because it went Cyber Fam Day and then if I believe, yeah,
Is this just some amount of months?
yeah, I'd say some certain amount of
Okay.
months.
So it took me a whole year, a little more than a year between fucking when was it? July 2014 to September, August 2015 for me to win a fucking world title. And I'm not going to get into shit with Jay Sean again, rated Rockstar, for those of you who know him. We had our fucking issues because I was jealous son of a bitch. And I'd been in ROX at the time it was Ring of Skills for over a year. And he comes
Right.
in, his first match is a world title match, he wins it, I cash in and beat him. And then he just up and leaves the community. I don't understand. I don't understand. Uh,
Like this sort of build because he wins the fucking thing. He wins the briefcase on Pandora and then the title the same night. Like the fucking, I think someone actually did a Dean Ambrose in real life sort of thing, and literally probably around that same time. And that at that point, so there you go. There was his big idea for that. Um, or it might have been later, and then, but even then, it was bound to fucking happen some point anyway. Someone in WWE was going to do, or someone in the community was going to do that, and then whatever. Very original either way.
and
But
yet, and yet, he gets this push with the way he fucking looks. I swear. Oh,
God, you know,
I'm sorry, Bash. I'm gonna get petty. You have one of the worst calls I've ever fucking seen in my life. How you got pushed to the fucking moon, I have no fucking clue. I can make a better fucking call than you with just simple shit. Learn. I don't know. It doesn't seem that hard to me.
and like I can't really speak on this because like at that point mine was basically just a Kevin Owens ripoff, but Pandora I basically go with the whole new gimmick that I was really excited to bring in, but I'll get to that. Actually, no, I won't get back to that later. But that's pretty much the point I was going to bring up on, my personal creativity in terms of attires.
We all got to start
And
somewhere. I mean, I was a Randy Orton ripoff, 100 fucking percent. But we all fucking evolve and get better, or you're
yeah,
fucked.
redesign, rebuild, reclaim, and all that. But I guess Bash just skipped the first two parts of that. And anyway, so there's survival, and yeah, like then this is where Bash really starts taking control, like over the FAM, because I think at this point we're doing well, like everything's great. Production at this point is very slowed down since Cyber Fan Day and FA Faniversary 3, because like we all busted our asses on Faniversary 3. There's a lot of communication going on. Cyber Fan Day was very much similar, and then literally Survival and actually I think Survival might have been similar, but after Pandora is when like production really started slowing down. I think you can even look in the FAM channel and notice that. Say 5 months a show to 6 months a show to 7 to fucking delays, and yeah, so Pandora, I guess would be the best out now because yeah, Pandora. Um, uh, I'll just get it straight. Like, the way that I was mini pushed then was great. I enjoyed that, and yeah, like had no problems losing because like I understood that was a story. Like, and again, like this is the biggest break on my career at that point. Like, um, opening match Like it was a really good match. Like I really enjoyed that. Like when me and CaM did work on it, it was really good. And yeah, then nothing bad to say about that event. That was actually the last FAM event I actually enjoyed being a part of or whatnot. After then, I sort of skip, which is kind of understandable considering what I get into briefly. Like this is sort of when it started clicking with like, okay, CaM as a leader is not working out, sort of thing. Like nothing petty about him fucking winning battle and any shit like that, but just how he treated me after and a few of my other friends I was working with on FAM, that just really rubbed me the wrong way. And how he treat people that coincidentally buddied up with him, a bit better. Evil backstage politics over here. So, and I'll dive into that here, but is there anything else you want to bring up before I get into that?
Basically, just burying anybody who's not in associations with him at all.
Exactly.
Basically, Bash. Uh, I wouldn't trust you with anybody who I saw talent in. I wouldn't trust you with Justin Harris. I wouldn't trust you with Nate West. I wouldn't trust you with Sebastian Scott or sensational Juan Santos or me even.
And I'll just cut in that the two names you mentioned, some I actually did train up. So shout out to you guys. You're doing great. You're killing it. Really proud of you.
And I guarantee you, if somehow I had nothing to do with Nate and Justin both getting into ROX, and if they came across your fucking paths, you would have fucking buried them. And if I would have discovered it, I would have gotten on your ass a lot fucking sooner. I don't like people like you. Back the fuck up. You are not fucking Vince McMahon. You are just a normal fucking 23-year-old who won't fucking grow up. And you act like an adolescent.
Speaking of acting like an adolescent, do you want to dive into some of the Twitter shit that he goes on about? Like around August 2017, that you're talking around here, I noticed he put a tweet. This is when he was leader and fucking basically got the pen, right? Got the book.
Let me pull these up. There we go.
Yeah, like it'll pull it up in the video. He tweets, 6 people on my list. I had 6 people on my list in the beginning of 2017, and that's fine. Bookers can have their list of who they want to book, where that's part of creative. And he says that list gets shorter today. How fucking arrogant do you have to be to put that on public when you're the fucking leader? Imagine how morale would drop instantly from the rest of the Rocker Room. Bloody hell, I can't speak. Locker room. And, they already buddies with, the guy that's booking that. And I know who it is. It's a great friend of mine called Nadir, the character behind Darren. Because at this point, I believe, is when he was having issues with CaM. They really stuck to the forefront because, and I'll dive into this in a minute because I know that I leave before Rumble, like the Royal Rumble period, and I'll dive into that again. But I know Nadir stuck around for a little, around for his WrestleMania payoff, and then see how it goes. And yeah, I don't necessarily know what happened, like all the details from that, but basically, they had an fallout, so tweets that probably in relation to that. But even if it's not relation to that, the fucking audacity to post something like that when you're the leader of a big time fucking. Imagine if Vince McMahon said, "Oh, I got 10 wrestlers I want to push, pal," and one of the guys, Drew McIntyre, 2014, he just that list got shorter. Ha ha ha. You know, imagine the fucking outrage if Vince McMahon said something like that, or the locker room morale would have dropped even fucking more than what it is now. If he right? Or imagine if God, that analogy will be for later. But yeah, imagine if fucking Vince McMahon tweets shit like that. God damn.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if it were the Bucks or Kenny Omega or Tony fucking Khan.
Right?
They're a bunch of fucking idiots. Kind of like Cameron Bash. So if you ever get signed to AEW, you would fit right the fuck in with the rest of them. Here's another thing. Being a creator and a destroyer goes hand in hand. The old, the damaged, the weak, the unnecessary must be ripped down and destroyed to make room for the new creations to take its place. The life of a creator is simple: evolve or die. Like you,
right?
And go the fuck away. Go the fuck away.
That's fucking hilarious. Like Pandora, my character evolved, and literally after that, he basically died. So, and I'll dive into that now. So, Royal Rumble season comes around, and yeah, I remember this fucking clearly because, like my plan for what was planned for me for Royal Rumble, Road 2s, like the little matches everyone has to sort of build up the event. Actually, I don't think I even had a plan, quite honestly, from Bash, because he had a plan for Virtue, his golden boy Nick Virtue, because I know that he tweeted me in DMs that I've got a list, like he'd tweeted me in DMs of his conversation with Virtue. He had like a list of people that
which I have right here.
Yeah, that he could face, and I wasn't even on that list. He just said, "Oh, Kingdom as well," like as a sort of a bit of an afterthought, like he forgot, sort of thing, that I was even on the fucking. I just put him over big time on Pandora, which again I had no problem with.
This reminds me. This only just happened recently. I don't know if you saw it, but after Donald Trump had got acquitted.
The firing.
Oh no, he had gotten up and he said, "Oh, I got Ivanka here, I've got my whole family here," and Baron, of course. Like he
yes, the time
Trump.
traveler Baron.
He keeps thinking Baron. He's forgetting that Baron is his son. I feel sorry for the kid. This is honestly pathetic.
Even though apparently Baron's a time traveler. Ooh. That's a conspiracy theory, so we won't dive too much in that.
Is that true? Is Bash a conspiracy theorist?
I mean, is the evil backstage politics that he fucking brought up, even though he had the book for the majority of 2017? Oh my god. You know what? I'll bring this analogy up right now. The evil backstage politics, in this situation, Donald Duck, was complaining that the big fucking corporate Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney are putting me down. Even though he's still a fucking big star himself. Or playing it, "Oh, these fucking backstage politics. I should be the fucking mascot." Look at my mascot. You see kids running around the streets, they want to hug me. How great is it for them to see me?
Oh, I'm about. Oh Lord, I'm not the best at impressions. So excuse me. Uh,
But yeah, that's basically my analogy that I was gonna go before, like earlier, to the backstage
that
politics with him.
that would be like if Mickey Mouse went around saying,
Or if like Dan Igor, like whoever the CEO of fucking Disney is, I think that is Igor or someone,
that,
goes around saying, that fucking Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney, they're putting me down. He's CEO of a fucking multi-million billion dollar.
that'd be like if Mickey Mouse had to list a bunch of people or a bunch of characters that he'd want to work with. Okay, so it's Minnie Mouse, it's Donald Duck, uh, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, uh,
But I'm not gonna work with that goofy motherfucker.
I don't know, Goofy and and Pluto.
But I'm not gonna work with that fat Homer Simpson motherfucker.
And I'm Cameron Bosch, and I believe the Earth is flat.
Oh God. Now let's not get too crazy here. Let's get back on track. But yeah, so the match is set up between me and Virtue, right, for a Road 2 match. And I was excited again because like I knew he was a big name from the sim community, and someone that I did actually look at fucking Karen because like I knew who Nick was a bit more. Like I understood then, but that he was a big star sort of thing. Like he was over basically. So of course I accept the match because I'm like, oh, this is a great honor, sure. And then I work with Virtue and instantly like we actually do get online and have a match, and I realize instantly that it's not going to work out quality wise because the internet lag was so fucking terrible. So I decided to put on my basically do it all in highlight reel, or not highlight reel, just do the match basically on offline because I had the capabilities to do that. And as I said, I didn't think it would do well. Like, not that we couldn't have a good match together, but and that's a shame because I was really looking forward to actually having a match with him because he's regarded as like a sim god sort of thing. And I wanted to see where I stood up. He already gave me a compliment saying I was a good heel, so I was like, oh, that's great sort of thing. Took that in stride. And so I get to editing the match, and I'm trying to do everything the right way, basically. Like I'm keeping Virtue in the loop of the match, like what I want to do, what he wants to do, so everyone's fucking happy, basically. Because like I know basically I got the power to make I wanted to, or even though he, like the finish of the match is he was going to win. Like I was fine with that because again, my philosophy is about like I'm fine losing. It depends on how I lose, sort of thing. Or if I win, it depends on how I win, or obviously vice versa. But yeah, I edit them, like I do the match and um, fill them in, like trying to get philosophies matching up, sort of thing, or something like that, where again everyone's sort of happy. So like I'm discussing the finish with them because like everything else you do 10 backdrops or obviously that's exaggerating, but it's like I got a pretty good feel for the psychology of every match. It's just more so the finish sort of thing. And I had this idea for like originally I wanted to pitch like a mini feud with Virtue since we were both key marked to for bigger things. Like I was gonna do something else later on, and like I was told at this point that I think I was gonna be well, not that I think that I was going to be in the top 4. Like I was going to be an Iron Man in the Rumble. I believe Rom told me that because obviously he's still good with communication on like Bash sort of thing. Or again, like I can't quite remember who told. It was either Bash or Rom, but I'm leaning towards Rom telling me that I was going to end top 4. So like obviously me thinking that okay, if I'm going to lose, keep the heat sort of thing, keep the momentum going.
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. Because like, so that one, I wouldn't be hurt from losing against Virtue, and two, against I can have a better performance down the road, so people could buy into the fact that I might be one of the contenders winning this or buying thing after going through the whole changing process and all that from the attire from Pandora and building up on that, like keeping up the steam is basically the theme. So I pitched this idea of like having like we got all this time to build up, like why not just have a mini 3-way series and maybe even put some implications, because I think Virtue, he came out 30th in the Rumble, if I believe, and I think that was always going to be the plan, but I figured why not make it a bit exciting where say the first match was like have Royal Rumble implications where like it's going to be a 3-match series sort of thing to build up to that, where I think I can't remember what I said. My memory's fucking fading, but one of them was basically going to be like I get a win, and I think that might have been the second match where I get the win and get his 30 spot, basically like the dastardly heel gets a 30 spot, whereas the first match was a win for Virtue, like win clean. Second match I win with the 30 spot on the line, and then like the win and everything would be back to normal. Like I think I'd end up with third still, and he'd get the 30 spot again, making a series of that. But Bash fucking declined that, so I was like, okay, I'll just have focus on the match. And again, like I remember the exact details of that idea, but it was going to be like this is just my idea pitching to him, that it would be like 3-match sort of stint basically, where everything would be settled anyway. So then I come with this idea to follow that sort of same line of thinking with the one match where like it'll be an ultra competitive match where he would attempt 3 super kicks, but the first one he hits puts me down, sort of thing. Like maybe he's gonna win with a super kick either way, sort of thing, clean. But like the first one kicking out it, like it could have been me kicking out 2 or dodging it, smart heel sort of thing. First one would have been me dodging. Second one would have been dodging into a cutter that he would have kicked out of, the finisher. And then the third one just straight up hit, sort of thing. So he'd be chasing to hit that super kick, basically. And that would have still put me in a good position because, I had a competitive match with Virtue. And I was just not good enough to beat it, sort of thing. And I tell Virtue this idea, and he says, something along the lines of, I can probably pull this up here. So, because I was cordial with him during Twitter DMs, and I think he says, if he's finished off first super kick, then we wouldn't have to do something like that. Or basically he was, not really feeling it. Okay. So that's fine. I was gonna go finish the match anyway, and begrudgingly sort of, continue it, because I was disappointed that none of my ideas were really going through at this point. But then, good old Cameron Bash fucking Skypes me, saying Kingdom 1 super kick. At this point, I haven't been communicating with Bash. It's just been me communicating with Virtue, working on the match. So the only way Bash would have figured, that's part of the creative process of the match, is if Virtue fucking snagged me.
So, for the people following at home, this is old school logic. So, the way it was going to be was that Kingdom, the heel, was going to be a slow, methodical, like a Randy Orton type heel. And then Virtue would pop back up and get that comeback that babyface comeback. But from what Kingdom is saying here, Virtue would have had to turn around and be the heel himself, heal himself out of a babyface situation, and it makes Kingdom look like the babyface.
And it would have basically buried me. Like, if I was in control of the whole match, which I probably would have done, like, just trying to get the heat on, and then one super kick, bang, buried. Like, everyone would have thought it was a joke. And this was the point where I just, like, I'm done. I can't even fucking have control, like, creative freedom. Like, it's been taken away from me, like, of the match by, you know, the true evil backstage politics. You know, from a guy who never even lifted a finger for FAM, from, like, I'm not even talking about all the stuff that he did for Sim. Like, that's all great. That's all his work. But from my understanding, my point of view, never just for FAM. Again, like, I don't know, the he probably might have done some of his own stuff, but he never even fucking said hi in the Skype chat that we had to the rest of the roster. So you could see why, you know, in the Truth About FAM video, like, when Bash complains, like, Nick Virtue never got the God, I've got a terrible impersonation of him. Okay, I'll just stop that. That Nick Virtue never got the respect because of shit like that. Like, he was getting this monster push as well for Bash to, like, defeat him at Fanniversary. And he was never really, like, I would have probably been fine with him if he was at least talkative in the chat, you know? You know, just being friendly and whatnot, instead of hiding away on Twitter, and that's the only way you can fucking communicate with him. Or through, like, PS4 messaging, you know? Because the other thing is, like, back when I first started, BH and Rom, I think, mentioned to me that, like, will I be active in the Skype chat? Like, that's probably one of the requirements to, well, not really a requirement, but, like, a prerequisite, still fucking a requirement, Jesus Christ. You know, just basically I can talk to people and, you know, banter along like we're trying to be friendly here, or, you know, play games sort of thing, like a bit of a brotherhood sort of thing. Never even fucking did that. Like, I could understand he has a life, doesn't have the time to edit or anything, or you don't, but, like, physically, like, the actual simming sort of thing. But the fact that he didn't even say hi when he was brought in really rubbed me, and I think a lot of the other people that were, like, the people like the Nadirs in the world, my god, like, I'll let him explain my Virtue in a, like, in his own way, but my god, he got fucking shitted on, like, because of that.
It's just a video game. Let's all have fun.
Right. And that's the mentality of the locker room. Like, let's just have fun. And what Unite was about, like, it was more, and I'm glad that I am chat now, like, that people are playing games and, you know, doing stuff not necessarily 2K related, but hell, play Cards Against Humanity even on the RX server, and that's a lot of fun. But people like Cameron Bash and Nick Virtues of the world that would never interact with fucking, like, on a personal level in that sort of regard to any of the other rosters, unless, you know, there's some work involved. And, like, I understand that's, like, a leadership strategy, but in this sort of issue, or in this sort of instance, it clearly fucking failed. And there's, like, again, there's points, like, if he wants to make a career of it, it's fine, because, like, I was trying to do that briefly, but, like, don't be a complete stickler about it, you know, just have some fun, play Rocket League with some of your friends, or, you know, at least fucking chat, you know, bantering or some stuff like that, you know, don't just make it all 100%, oh, have you got this scene recorder for me, you know, I mean, I know you're bantering really when you're recording the match with the other person, sort of thing. And that's just what it was. Like that's when BH and ROM, or anyone say toxicity, or like when I say toxicity, that's sort of what we're referring to. Like the whole um just shut office and all that.
Even though I didn't like the way Unite was ran and I didn't necessarily agree with their system, I did like the fact that people would fucking connect. Like normal fucking
Exactly.
people in the world. But no, this asshole has to. What's the term I've heard before?
Holier than now.
No, and I don't even know if this counts to him, but art imitating life or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if his character was supposed to be a heelish asshole or.
Now Virtue was clearly going to be the babyface, and I
No,
think Bash was turning to the heel though.
well, yeah, I'm talking about Bash.
Yeah, because clearly that came to the forefront.
If you're going to be an asshole in this community, just fucking quit. Because clearly you don't fucking belong here if you're not going to get along with anybody or just do
and
shit.
and this leads me to I never honestly like I think shortly thereafter that bullshit that went down, because this went down between the last time I talked to Virtue was the 25th of January 2017, and I think within the next week or fortnight I basically quit because like I saw shit that I didn't like how you know, like at that point Bash and Virtue basically screwed me, and I was just done with that. And like I saw, like this was festering probably after Pandora, because I think shortly after that there was like a tryout for a map, and like I read that, and I was like, well, this might have happened after I sort of like quit, but actually no, it went before because it was festering. I read that or I watched that, and I did not agree with the new system change, and the fact that it only happened like the previous tryout video happened also rubbed me the wrong way. Just in terms of timeline wise, I felt like it was a wasted effort of a video, because like that original one was fine. That would have confused a lot of people about the process, which obviously it did. And or maybe I shouldn't say that. But basically the old system was like you'd email your shit like a resume you would to the FAM email account they put on the tryout video, and this would have been like anytime you can do that, and they'll have and like you know just do what a recruiter would do, like look through it all and make a decision.
Yeah,
And it
so
was from my understanding it was BH and ROM like to begin with before Bash sort of came in, and then when Bash came in it was those three. I was fine with that because, like, Bash wanted to bring in a guy, BH and Rom could neutralize it, or if Rom wanted to bring in a guy, BH and Bash could possibly neutralize it, or BH wanted, you get the idea, they could both neutralize it. Or if it was unanimously agreed, they'd all agree, sort of thing. It's balanced, they could look at all the sides of decision. Like, no fucking political ass kissing happening there, sort of thing. Because then the other two could have seen probably, this guy's friends with you. You sure he's not kissing your ass, or you're not kissing his ass to try and get in, or I don't think that's what they talked about, but there's that sort of opportunity there that could be nullified or brought up. And
so if you could pause for a
okay,
moment, I want to. So when I started, we um, we kind of had a process similar to that, except it was through. Enz had a website up that looked like a fucking forum page from like 1998 or what the fuck. And we would
mm,
go in there and we would our name, our call's name, or why we want to do this or whatever. Just type all that out, and then we would submit it, and it would get sent to Enz's email. I mean, we've also done a process where Enz made, I believe it was, oh, what was it, a Google, maybe like a Google Doc or some type of Google
Yeah.
thing, and it'd be the same thing. It'd go through his email.
This the stuff you'd see on like mostly all the Discord servers now.
Even I went out of my own way to help Enz. I used to actually give audio interviews, and I had like at least 10 questions, and they would have to answer all those questions, and then I would send them the ends to Skype. That's where I even
Yeah,
interviewed.
like a vetting process sort of thing.
Yeah, I even interviewed fucking. I believe I interviewed Harris and whoever the fuck else. There was a few, and but What was the new process? That's what I want to know.
Oh boy. All right. So that was the old process. All right, like a three three people could decide.
Very simple.
The new process, get this, was and I understand why they do it because like this was when BH's real life stuff was really kicking off and he was kicking
Mm-hmm.
goals and not really there as much. And I think Rom was having some issues then as well. So that stuff Bash did say was true. There was some issues with that. Um, Obviously won't delve into it much, but you know that was just for fact checking. Um, the new process was instead of going to you would go directly to Bash's tweet DMs, and he would make the decision. Now, tell me that doesn't sound biased to you.
Oh, it does. Yeah, very.
And ironically enough, like I remember, I don't really have it up, so I can't prove it for that reason. But there's a tweet where Bash was basically complaining about the fucking magnitude of DMs he got already. Like he was on a bus, like or fucking public transport, um, checking it all, and like there's a like I don't because he was at that point a popular character, and like so many people would be DMing, or who knows, it could be just bullshit where he's trying to talk himself up big so people don't actually try to get in, sort of thing, or don't even bother trying. But the fact that you're complaining about that just screams to me that you probably shouldn't be a leader if you're not going to check through everything, or you shouldn't be in some human resources role if you can't fucking handle the magnitude of people coming in when you
Yes.
know the brand is popular.
Yes. That I was about to
And
say that. I was about to say that. It doesn't matter if you're ROX or if you're Valor or if you're FAM or if you're some comp show or EFED show that's really big. You're going to be constantly, especially if you put out, hey, we're getting applications. DM the company Twitter or whatever. You're gonna get message after message after message like fucking rapid fire. Uh,
yeah, and like that screamed to me that there would never be another shot like for people like Nadir or Pandorino to come in again, like people outside the sim community, because Bash just didn't keep tabs on. Would have I don't think like the only people that he would have brought in are the people he knew, like his buddies and all that, or people that did have some editing skill and like that he knew of from sim, like the sim core shows and all that. Possible they're the only people legitimate shot coming in, like and that obviously he obviously proves that with the fucking truth about F video again, like pointing back to it, but he's basically saying oh like I couldn't deal with all these new people, like Unite taking all these people. Again, you got poor resource management skills. Fucking, there's a whole there that love the name FAM. If you really wanted to make this work, just say, hey, like do what Enz is doing with RX right now. Like, hey, I need people like voice actor. Or I need people to edit. You could have put that tweet out, and you would have had fucking probably close to 100 people, being able to help you out. That probably would have been hungry, that wanted to be in FAM, that could have really helped you out with that. And you'd have a whole new, fresh talent that you could have, like, it's like fucking, this is probably a good analogy, like, the Andrew Wiggins, D'Angelo Russell trade that just happened in the NBA. Like, both probably needed a fresh start, and it worked out great. Well, it could work out great, sort of thing. But you got to learn to rotate, the people coming in and coming out. Like, and if you can't do that, then again, you shouldn't be a leader, or you shouldn't be in human resource management. That's the process. Instead of complaining like, oh, BH and Unite or ROM and Unite have made this, and they're using evil backstage politics to steal all my good, editors. Then again, like, to quote fucking Angelo from The Office, like, Bash is a great delegator. He doesn't do any of the what that screams to me. And like, here's the thing: if he wants to take credit for all the fucking work that he did by himself from, what was it, 2015 to 2018, then, like, it's not it's a team effort. And no wonder why, like, people would see that you put your fucking name edited by on every video, even though roughly most of it wasn't true. Like, I can guarantee, except for like the top 10s, like easy work, like top 10 videos, fucking, uh, characters that don't really have people behind them that you can just get on the game and do their finishes and record, edit, put it all together, sloppy shit like that. You could get that done like a fucking day, maybe even 10 minutes or an hour sort of thing. 10 minutes probably kind of close to recording it, but because I know for a fact that my showcase video, like, I edited it all together, and the only edit he did was the fucking writing of the finishes, like at the end of the video, and maybe even added the intro, and bang, upload. Because I did the audio, I did the recording, I put all the recording together, sent it to him, and that's the only changes that he did. Everything else was just me. And yeah, he's still trying to take credit for that to this fucking day. Even probably the other things he might have done, like, again, the cores that didn't really have bodies behind them. Yeah, it's just bullshit.
Yes, now, I'm going to be a little petty here. Bash, you are one ignorant son of a bitch if you're not going to give somebody credit for something they did that you did not fucking do. Reaction channels.
Or if you did 10% on, like...
Reaction channels. If you were a reaction channel today and you wanted to react to that new fucking Ed Sheeran album, and you react to the biggest track on there, you would put a link to that in the description. Or fucking anything. Let me show you this. Here's how easy it is. Look at this. Mixtape right here. Here's all the songs here. The fan video I did. Here's the link. There's Twitter's. Here's also the person who made the artwork for the song Close to the Sun. End of the decade mix right here.
And to the credit, I did notice, like, later on that some of the, like, I think I did run, like, when it first started happening, I thought, hey, this would be some credit should be put towards, like, a Lance Frisco, like, when he does the showcase, when that, like, recorded and edited by, and I did see that change, but I'm talking specifically about this video where he says all this was basically, just to specify that.
So, Bash, look right here. Look at how fucking easy it is to give fucking credit. And I do it every fucking video I put out. With something that's not mine. It's so fucking easy. All you gotta do is copy, paste, or just fucking type it in. That's all you gotta do. It's not that fucking hard. I don't get it.
Oh, God.
Here's the song in the video, okay? Let me go to it. Let me search it up. La 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 la. Okay. Copy. Paste. Song. The Fat Rat featuring Angela Close to the Sun. Link. Here it is. That fucking easy. It is.
Yeah.
The man
So,
is delusional.
to get on another segue, so I think we discussed that I was at. Oh, I'll bring this up. This is my future plans after the Royal Rumble. This will be the last thing about my timeline, and then we'll go on to another segment. We're kind of jumping around a bit, so I apologize for that. But because I'll add this last one because it's kind of funny looking back. But yeah. So Royal Rumble happens. I actually get buried in that. Ironically, like you want to talk about big dogs holding others down. We just discussed that. You know, Virtue snake me. I basically leave. You can't tell me that's a coincidence. I get buried. The like that I get buried on the fucking Royal Rumble. You know, in that way. So after that, my original plans were going, like, cause I never, I think I never got formally fired. Like Bash never said in DMs you're fired. Rom never said in DMs I'm fired. BH never said in DMs I'm fired. I just told all three of them that I was done. And I left, basically. But I said like the reason I left was like I did not think with the way that FAM was heading that it was worth the storyline that I was going to. And again, and I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, and who knows? Like, because I'd already discussed my fucking frustrations, they could have easily jumped the switch, given my spot stood on. But originally were going to be, from what I was told, was that I'd get and like this the DNA. When was it? Angel, great. And we were just shooting shit in a call and had this idea and this to you know, I'd be fired in the Rumble from basically doing what I did, like attack, like get eliminated, then get frustrated, come re-eliminate someone, and then the host or GM would fire me. Then it's unacceptable. That's heat, you know. My plans were after that firing, I'd come back at Faniversary 4 and take the hard keen for because I told that was it. I know for a certain that was the direction I was heading. Like I was going to come back and take the title from Dastardly, I believe, doing that at that point, or Pandorino, I think, and we would just feud with those three, like me, Dastardly, and Pandorino, I think. But obviously that changed, and because I was just instead burnt out, and I didn't see that. Even though like I think I pitched that sort of idea, I didn't see that as enough, you know, compensation to really say. And like at that point, I think even if I was given a feud with Bash and won the title off it, I don't think that still would have, you know, been enough with all the bullshit that I saw going on, like backstage and all the toxicity. Like, and yeah, just up and left after that. Like, I couldn't be bothered with dealing with all that. So, like, it just was not a real happy place, and I didn't see it getting any better because, like, I saw, you know, BH as they're killing it in real life. Rom was doing with this shit, but he was still similar and like, who knows, said those things that, or had some issue with one of his buddies, and that, you know, he could have just fucking buried me and like I would have been awful, sort of thing. that was my mentality. Like that might not have been bashes, but it was still like, obviously it's come to the forefront now with like how Petty was booked in the Rumble, basically. Like, and Bash pretty much said that he wrote and credited himself for the Rumble. Like a true fucking dictator leader would.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that just says it now. Like it just makes it even clearer after watching that video that that was probably most likely him because like the signs were there. Like he'd never tell you what you're going with unless you're like obviously a virtue because he had a fucking list of people he could face like that treatment, and I was just an afterthought. And meanwhile, Rom on the other, he had fucking scripts from like fucking Cyber Fam Day, like a 3-year plan. Like I think one of my plans was actually I might have gotten. I think I do recall I might have actually faced anniversaries like Bad Wool, like maybe anniversary 5 later on, sort of thing. I do have like a notepad something that I could bring out, but um and yeah, like I know it sound like I'm bullshitting like I because I can't remember right now. I do. That was one of the things that did stick out to me that um like that might have been my plan for Faniversary 4. Like it might maybe I changed it from that to the hardcore title run, or I could have done the hardcore feud, but um yeah, like as I said, those plans sort of went there, or maybe like I just read again, like I probably just read the whole script a bit wrong, sort of thing, put myself into it a bit. So if I take sort of comment, have at me. I kind of deserve for not bringing up facts to it and just sound like I'm bullshitting, even if Rom or someone like it does bring it up and say it was true. He would know a bit more about that than I do because obviously he writes everything down and is a fucking great at that. But the simple fact that Rom had plans for everyone and someone was just an afterthought and he didn't communicate with anyone else but the people he cares about, then that just goes to show you who's the real fucking creative genius and who's just a bullshit artist that's fucking really using the politics to hold other people down or have nothing for them creatively. Even though like I was trying to create storylines as well and all this shit. Like I even remember in the Rumble I mentioned something where like a comedy spot, between Walbashi and me. I forget the specifics, but like I did pitch to Bash like saying hey, I should do something with Walbashi, like if I'm an Iron Man sort of thing, like um something jokey and like I still eliminate him anyway, get more heat sort of thing from that. But just based on the character. And Bash just said, well, Bashi's dead. Just axed that idea completely. And I always joke that it's probably because he has, well, Bashi actually has Bash in his name, so he's jealous of that. But, again, like, just goes to show he doesn't do native, like, doesn't give you any liberties creatively, sort of thing. Whereas Ron would, probably think about it and probably say, like, that's good, but let's tweak it like this. Or if he'd say it's bad, he'd be like, um, okay, let's not go that way, and this is why, sort of thing. Whereas back, you know. So that was pretty much my story, like my timeline story in FA. Pretty much up in that. A bunch of missed opportunities. So if you want to talk about complaining about opportunities, ooh. But unless there's anything else you want to add on or talk about, let's add to another segment because I got a few more segments and then we should probably end this video because it's probably close to 2 hours now.
No, actually, we're almost close to an hour 10.
Ooh.
Oh, Bash, you actually put out a tweet, if I can snag it, very recently when I started talking to you, I've had great
Oh, really?
conversations with followers over the last few days based on some of the lies that have been told about me. It's been a fab opportunity to get to know these people and for them to know me. If you have any confusions, feel free to hit me up. I'll set the record straight. Well,
Oh.
more like been fabulous getting to know a fucking liar. Um, and
I'm now fucking attitude here. It's great for you to get to know me, not, someone in that position saying, most celebrities say, oh, it's great to get to know you. Not, oh, you're great. It's great for you to get to know me. How fucking arrogant do you have to be?
here's another point that I didn't make earlier. So, it is great to have those friends that you trust the most, but I didn't bust my ass trying to get Harris and West and ROX because they were friends. No, I saw fucking talent. That's what I fucking saw. And when I see fucking talent, I'm gonna take them to ends and try to convince them because they deserve the fucking opportunity, not because I'm friends with them. That's so fucking stupid. Uh, Makes you like the fucking celebrity who's in the middle and you have your fucking posse around you to protect you. Well,
Mm.
that doesn't apply here. I also like to bring up my DMs with him.
Oh,
I
really?
got four freaking things here that. So, I pretty much protected you because I have my mantra is if you fuck with a friend of mine, you fuck with me. And it has been since I started this shit. You can ask Ends. I've done it to him a couple times. Speaking of which, before we even get into this, I like to tell a little fucking story. And Ends can back this up because I was helping him in it. Basically 2-on-1. But the guy fucking deserved it. He shouldn't have been talking bad about it. Talking shit. There is this guy who ran a company called KGK. This was 2015 or 16. And he thought he was a hot shit. From what I heard, that show was supposed to be, oh, that's the show everybody wants to go to. Like, that's where everybody wants to go. And this was the PS3 days. So, um, End and I and Scott, the three of us, got into a little spat. Um, all because Scott, he he made a video where he was laying in his bed. He's big, he's bald, looks like shit. He was laying in his bed.
he's got a whole bag of potato chips.
No, but he was just recording a video on his fucking phone, talking about because somebody had done a some fake slammy shit where Ends and my friend Zetralizer had won an award tied up for something, and he proceeded to talk shit about the both of them, I believe. And of course, I get involved, um, which leads to him saying, uh, which leads to him saying, and I shit you not, because I had ROX in my YouTube name at the time. Um, well, yeah, because you have ROX in your fucking name, you're trying to steal, basically trying to plead that I'm trying to get free clout, as the kids would say now. Oh, you're just trying to get subs and shit. Even though at that point I knew Ends for about a year or two by then. But Cameron, there's one thing that you and this guy don't have in common. At least he told us how he really felt. Yeah, at least he told us the truth about how he really felt. You, on the other hand, have not. And this is why we're pretty much doing this. Because we're here to prove that it doesn't matter if you're hot shit. Anybody can take criticism, and you better be ready to fucking take it, or you're gonna look like a big pussy. So these here.
Except pussies can actually take it.
So, I covered Kingdom's ass because you had replied to a tweet of his. What was it? What was it about? Basically, him just saying about
Yeah,
the
like
whole taking credit
my
thing.
tweet was my tweet was like, and I tweeted it because I was really upset because at that point my Twitter was suspended for like 12 hours, and like this is when his video went live. So I'm not going to say a conspiracy that he suspended my account. Like that's just a whole different. But basically, I was saying like I was really upset that he um was taking credit for basically himself when it was a team effort really on the other show on the other videos. But I was really like I pointed out that in that whole fucking segment where he was just going on the YouTube channel and hovering his mouse over everything that he did, and he basically said as a group that all the 2K17 showcases were done by him. And now sure that could, as I said before, um that could be true with some of the characters didn't have people behind them. Like it's easy to download their cores or create a core out of thin air, like a Roberto sort of thing, and then record it and then edit that. Like I could probably do that in probably an hour or two. And
Yeah.
like that credit is fine. You're working on it. Take whatever credit you want from that. Like you put the hours and time in that. That's fine. But when you rope my fucking showcase to it, or someone else's into it, like Nadir's or even a Frisco and Archimedes, because I know those guys, still did theirs and basically hand it to you to, polish it off and do the rest of it and hit upload. That's when I have a fucking issue. And that's what really personally upset me because of the amount of effort that me and the rest of the team at that point, took to do it. Even if it was like, say, we did it in 10 minutes or 2 hours, or even if it took us fucking 20 days to do it. I know that's hyperbole, or exaggeration, but it's fucking, the point is you put all that effort, time and effort into editing like a showcase or a match. Like a match obviously is more effort than a showcase, but it's still effort that you're trying to take credit from or for. That you only did fucking 10% of the work. Because I know for a fact that you only did the only thing was the intro and the finisher names, like the text on that. Then I could have done that if I had the resources, and of course hit upload. Now I'm being reasonable in saying you did 15% of the work, but it's realistically more 3% of the work because I recorded, I edited, and I did the audio for them. And those are the more heavy hitters than fucking a text and an intro that's you got the resources for. You just add that to a fucking line, and then you like in the editing software that you use, add that in the front of the video, render it, boom, it's uploaded. But that should not, say you did all of it.
And then his reply to you, I believe, was a picture of with his name hovering above his car
A
and
very
pointing
a
an
very
arrow
unrelated, a very unrelated fucking childish response. I'll say to something very serious, like intellectual property theft, sort of thing,
and then
or not actually no, not even IP theft, but that's probably a bit further down the line, and it's core, so no one really cares about fucking law anyway. But it's just like plagiarism. That's a fucking big deal in college. Something you obviously probably didn't care for in college anyway. But like plagiarism in journalism, it's a fucking big issue. I don't see why it should be an issue here, especially when you that as I said, put in the effort to do that video or videos, and then you take all the credit. It's people like you that is the reason why intellectual property laws exist and why fucking plagiarism is as big of a deal as it is, because you think you can just like take and just face no repercussions just because it's core, and like the only person that probably would have given you shit for it and actually probably would have literally taking you to court and clean you up, even though there's probably nothing you'd have that you want, would be BH and he's gone. I feel like that's the only reason like you think you're a big dog on fucking BH is gone, and before FAM came back, Rom was sort of, in the shadows doing whatever he was doing. Probably fixing a light bulb, and I mean literally fucking fixing a light bulb.
And then I replied like just because you put a fucking so basically you saying you own something by putting a fucking red arrow next to it, whatever it was, and then
let me just rephrase that. I edited that on the red arrows that was pointing to me.
Oh,
so there may be some misconnection there.
And then,
but he's still trying. I was pointing that out because like I knew he'd probably say that the whole group of it was his, and I was just pointing out that fucking video is not part of that group, and I'm pissed off by it.
And then he came to me. You obviously didn't know, because if you check the video, that screenshot is not from that video. The screenshot was actually in reference to the fact that Kingdom hasn't liked me ever since he had to put me over at Pandora. He dislikes me for petty reasons. I'm trying not to clutter the timeline with any more of this drama. This is bringing negative vibes to the community, like that doesn't happen every fucking day anyway. And other people.
And that clearly, he said he didn't want to do it in the video, knowing yet he fucking did the video anyway. That's caused all this issue.
So if you have any more questions on the matter, feel free to ask me here, and I'll be more than happy to speak to you. But I wouldn't like to continue doing anything else publicly. Thank you. And I said, trust me, I don't like this shit either. But I'm not afraid to stick up for my friends either. If he dislikes you, tough shit. This is the CaM community. You move forward and focus on you. Which is true. Like, come the fuck on. People hate each other every fucking day. Come on.
And Bash, really, you think after all this time you still think I hate you for putting you over in that match? That match is like still one of my favorite matches of my career that I've ever done here. Like, I don't hate you for petty reasons like that. I hate you for the fucking way you've treated people. And like your fucking arrogant attitude. And if that's petty, then fuck. Like, what do you... Like, Bash, if you do respond to anything from this video, like I doubt you will, because, I'm nothing to you.
Low attention.
Explain what you mean the petty reasons are. Like, my DMs are open. I don't block people like a lot of other people in the community do to me when we've had issues. Feel free to fucking explain what petty issues you think they are. Because I think I really explained a lot of them here, and I don't see them as petty.
I was actually going to bring that up too.
Especially, and like, if you think it's from how I've been booked in this thing, or professionally, wouldn't it be petty from you for trying to make this a career? Really? We had very similar wavelengths on that. Like, I was busting my ass to try and, put on my resume that, I can edit videos and do a social media fucking job. And I guess that's the career you're trying to do, and I'm not knocking you for that. Like, the one thing I can admire from you is the fact of actually going out and doing this shit. Like, you're working with Element Games, I've seen. Kudos to you. Hope you guys have a good relationship. Hope nothing happens like with FAM. And,
run!
All good. Nah, I'm not trying to say this to try and get him fired from this job. If it happens, then I don't know what person, but
yeah, I was gonna say.
And like,
go ahead.
And I'll say this: like, I had no issue with the core contest. My issue was that you were trying to use the FAM name the same way you use the NGC name. If you really want something to die, like, as you said at the end, telling Rom to let shit die, then why don't you take your own fucking advice and let FAM and NGC die? That's, like, let me speculate that this is the possible reason why Rom brought it back, because, and you said in the video that, Rom was shitting on your projects without him coming to you to organize, like, to talk to anything out. Where was your fucking effort, Cameron? where was your effort to uh, tell Rom, hey, I'm doing this court contest. Do you want to maybe be a judge, sort of thing? And that would have been me personally. I would judge then, like, your buddies making it completely biased and possibly a scam. But then like you you tease the FAM name, and again with intellectual property, I'm not going to bring up laws, but like plagiarism sort of shit. Like if BH was around, you would not do this because he'd fucking tell you a new one. So what's any difference with Rom? Because you think you can handle him more? If so, that's fucking more petty than anything.
I was going to say, I think y'all should hash it out. The way I see things, if you're going to have an issue, handle it in the DMs, or else we wouldn't be fucking doing this right now. So,
Exactly. Instead of like DMing fucking savior here, about me fucking manipulating shit, politicking your way to get to try and talk bad about me, defamation on my character to end, not end savior, then you're the one that's fucking spreading lies and manipulating the community. I would not be surprised if the whole Xbox PS3 fucking division had part of your fucking doings. I mean, it pretty much did. It was like, even the whole you versus Nick Virtue bury the hatchet, that whole thing was probably partly because of you, CaM. So you look at these patterns and you start nailing them together. And yeah.
and I didn't talk to Jay for 4 years, which is a really long fucking time, because I didn't know how to contact him, or I would have done it fucking years earlier. But in 2019, I got a hold of his ass. He remembered me, luckily, and we buried the fucking hatchet, because that's the way these things should fucking go. If you hate somebody enough and then you end up it fucking ends, go to them and just say, you know what, hey, I admitted that what I did was fucking wrong. Me being jealous and everything, I admitted I was wrong. And we buried the
And
hatchet. That's the way it should fucking be, instead of going behind people's backs.
and the funny thing about that is, like, when FAM moved to Discord, I messaged BH, I messaged Rom, and I messaged Bash saying, like, trying to bury the hatchet as well, like saying, hey, sorry about what happened, we cool, sort of thing. And Rom responded, BH responded, obviously, because it was actually BH's idea to like try to just patch things up with Rom and Bash, sort of thing, because we'd always been cool. So I respond to Rom, he responds saying, it's all good. Did not get a response from Bash at all. So what a piece of shit he really is.
So, let me continue with this. I don't care that he doesn't like me. I find it funny that he doesn't like me for those reasons, and like to make fun of him for it. I also didn't go out of my way to contact him. He tweeted. So that statement you just made is kind of irrelevant. I've got nothing to move on from because I have no beef with Kingdom. Bullshit.
Right.
He's just an angry little man.
Whew. Well, that's fucking rich considering the salts and the truth about CaM.
Look,
truth about FAM.
little Rocket Man is going to not. He's not.
CaM.
It's like the little
Really?
Rocket Man thing. It's just stupid. It's childish and just makes no fucking sense.
CaM, come on. Really. I don't hate you for fucking having to put you over. If anything, I was totally cool with it. I was cool with everything that happened at Pandora, even you. I don't care about, as I said, I don't care about wins and losses like you obviously do, because you had to fucking win everything. You had to win all the titles, you had to win everything. Yeah, I care more about quality and the fucking how you do it. You care more about quantity and fucking how not to do it or whatever. It's probably a poor analogy, but at this point, I don't. It's close to 2 hours now. I don't really care too much about it, but and then you have to say I'm an angry little man. Fucking, I'm angry, and I may be a little man, but not about this.
I also have no beef with you, sir, which I really appreciate you calling me sir. You know, I'm fucking 3 years younger than you. I don't really know who you are. I recognize your name as an fam. First, the fuck off. I have never ever said publicly. I've said I've respected fam. I've never said I liked them. I could give less of a goddamn shit about fam. I don't care if fam fucking rots. I don't fucking care. But I do respect them. I've never said I've been a fan. Um, and I thank you of being. Your fucking grammar is so terrible. It annoys me.
Right? For someone with that's English, that his English skills are fucking terrible. Jesus.
And I thank you of being a fan of that product. And I put so much work into. But you don't need to get involved in this drama like you are doing here today. No one is going to love and respect you anymore for being a side and attacking the other side. Except I have fucking morals. So,
So he's basically trying to silence you because I don't know.
you just look a little bit silly to a lot of people who know more about the situation than you do. I'm not trying to annoy
And
you by saying this. I just want what's best for you, and I don't want you to get involved in heated arguments with people or situations that you're not even a part of it. It's all good, man. We're all big boys and can fight our own battles. Okay, you may be a big boy, but you got no balls. Explain that.
and
Here,
trying to
Bash,
silence.
you are a little bitch. And just like a female fucking dog, you've got no balls, sir.
Yeah, considering that he is basically ever since he came back, probing the aggressor, and there's like again a made core contest, which you know, go ahead, fine, that's something you can do. Like no one really has ownage over that. If anyone does, it might be Merc because he popularized it, but it's not like a brand or anything. And yeah, the sim like okay, let me go into conspiracy theory territory right now. Okay,
Oh
like the way Bash is marketing everything, because like I do know he's a marketing background, and that's why he's doing this whole effort on the promote his Discord. That, by the way, only has like probably under 70, maybe over 70 members now, compared to FAM's close to 300 servers. Like, and he's probably had that for months. I sense a little bit of saltiness there. Like, Rom created FAM Discord like one day, and then fucking first day was crazy. You were probably there when I joined. It was just like a whole bunch of people talking, and then like he talks about the FAM final chapter. All these chapters. I believe that he could have like he was gearing up to like either bring FAM back permanently, because again, Rom's not there to stop him. BH definitely isn't there to stop him. So why the fuck wouldn't he? And he's going through all this effort to promote everything, and and why else would you come back? Like, particularly in this community, like a core contest and then FAM, other than to like either make your own show or bring FAM back. Especially when he's proven to like live in the fucking past. Like, he always brings engine conversation, or not necessarily conversation, but in his promos or fucking Twitters, and like he just can't let it die. So it would not surprise me if he used the core contest to like try and scout for people. People would join, especially if you like And it's funny you mentioned this, like, well, not you mentioned this, I'll bring this up, that he actually messaged people basically wanting them to join, like former Unite members. Octo was one of them that, is a good friend of mine, that he, I want the best basically involved with like a $20 fucking prize limit. Like, how fucking, if you want to talk cheap and desperate, Cam, that is the pure definition of it. Merc, he's got you beat, buddy, in core contest, like, many, and he doesn't even need a fucking gift card prize or any sort of prize to lure them in. So,
And if you're gonna do that, the one that I'm going to be in, I was told it was probably gonna be like a $50. That's fine. Fucking 20. Come the fuck on.
yeah, that's, especially like, if you're just coming back, why not come back with a bang? Like, and you're doing all this effort to promote it. There's got to be something, like, what would have been the next logical step? Like, oh god, like, I know, like I said, you can have your own core contest and all that, but let me just rip into it for a second, right? So, you already got a prize for that. Nothing too fine, but monetary is involved in. Normally, when fucking money's involved in core, people lose their shit. Obviously it's a prize, so no one really gives. A gift card as well. You said it was, or like, in the DMs that you sent Octo, you said it was like $25 plus prize, and obviously that's a prize pool, and it's like, it just screams a scam to me. Like, you're telling people that it's like $20 would be the main prize, and then what are the other prizes? Be more transparent, like. And then turns out, okay, get this, like, like, heraldry and Cody Hale of third and second, right? They got, for their prize, was like a free subscription to his fucking Twitch or YouTube channel, and to be involved in their universe mode.
The fuck would want to watch
So
that?
it's basically a win-win for Bash. Like, he's not, giving. He's not really giving to the community in that regard. Like, he shady-ish. Like, it's not transparent. Like, like, doing it for the fun of it. And obviously, like, I believe that he had no one telling him, like, oh, this guy's not, like, he probably had full reign, because the judges were like, his girl of his other friends. That doesn't scream bias at all, or letting him down. Like, again, I don't know. The judges, this is always speculation. Like, I know that they're connected to him, but like, I don't know what they said in like any call or like their judging process. But look, like, it just screams kind of BS. Like, not Cody Hay or not Heraldry. Like, they're great people. Like, they got a good cause and all that. But to have a fucking Conor McGregor copy to win, that's kind of bullshit, don't you think?
What?
A Conor McGregor core one, and it was pretty good. It was a good looking Conor McGregor, pretty accurate. But
Oh
like,
my god.
that just, again, it screams bias, because like, he's a UFC mark and fucking, or a UFC fan, I should say. I don't think they have mark as that terminology, but the person that made that core could have literally just copied that from Community Creations and uploaded it to the fucking core contest.
I tell you what, Bash, you do another call contest, and I'll come in as Barney the fucking dinosaur. And if I don't win, I'm gonna get on your ass.
So, and this is why I think it's a bit rigged, basically, and like, he's trying to use it as like a scouting thing for like a core show, like bringing FAM back, because I know for a fact he loves Heraldry's core. Like, and again, this isn't a knock on Heraldry. Like, I love it as well, and totally should have been top 3. Like, I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know who else entered, but those are 2 good looking guys and good looking cores that have like FAM Unite sort of background.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mean to tell me that that's not like who he's going to pick as his lead male and lead female, and just fucking throwing a Conor McGregor for shits and giggles. So, yeah. like the whole thing just screams a farce. Like, sure, he did give the winner the fucking gift card or whatever it came to be, which is great. Like, that was my man that did win would actually get screwed out of that because I just know he's got some monetary issues. But like, um, that is bullshit. Like, if I entered it, you know, all personal issues aside, if I just entered it for the fun of it, why not? Um, I would have been pissed. A fucking actual like this is why you need to be transparent. Like, you need to be transparent with the rules, whether they're original, you know, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because then, like, I think a lot of the people that joined were from the community, like core community specifically, like the Unites, FAM, um, RX, or that sort of community. Like, they would have put a lot of effort into the original cause, whether they're not so good looking or top of the notch looking sort of thing. So like, there's no real criteria because like I guarantee a lot of the judges would just been like, oh, that's good, that's cool, that's like yes, Cameron, that's yes sort of thing. So I have every reason to believe that if Rom did not come back and just bring FAM like it is, and this would also explain why he's so, like, he's so angry that Rom brought everything back because he was going to bring it back. That was going to be the next logical step. Like, the first issue, like the first sort of point he did in the video was like, I'm angry that you brought it back. Just like what a clusterfuck. Like, you know, that's just my theory on the core contest. Like, am I hitting the nail on the head or just completely way off? What's your take on that?
Um, there is one thing I can understand the free Twitch sub thing. If it was a whole different channel, let's say, oh, if you win, I'll give you a free Twitch sub to New Legacy Inc. or something like that. That'd be fine.
Oh yeah, like if the Twitch sub of your choice. So like if you,
But
yeah,
if you do it to yourself, that just makes you look like a hypocrite, and that you're just trying to. And here's another reason why I think he's
like
doing
again,
all
it's
this.
a win-win for him.
I think this is why he's just doing all this, because I think he's just losing relevancy, and there's better
Right?
people coming up.
It just screams cheap and desperate.
Um, Let me get back to this here. I said fuck off. First off, fuck fam. Never cared for it, never will. Secondly, me defending my friends has been my mantra since I started this. I've only ever said that I respect fam, not some of the people in it, but the product. I only go for people who deserve it now. I'm not one to mess with, bash, just know that. I'm not fucking with you. You seem very amped up and aggressive for no reason. I have done anything to you, and I haven't fucked with any of your friends. See, this is when he just didn't realize I was sticking up for you, which was great.
Got him.
I'm trying to speak to you calmly, respectfully, but if you're not interested in that kind of conversation, that's fine, no worries. And then I went to go bring an invitation.
Right.
This is what, because we were gonna do this a little bit differently, but he just completely said no, put the kibosh on that.
Which is smart on him because, like, by the sounds of it, he did see his piece, and coming on a show like this would have, been poor taste by him, I think.
Although all that I really would have wanted to do was to just have him realize what he's done, and that he just needs to stop for a bit and think and get people to trust him again. If he can't do that, then there's just no hope for him. Here's the last bit. I've just told my story. Did you not see my video? In which I didn't. I don't give a fuck about you, Bash. I really just don't care. I didn't watch it for a reason. I only watch stuff that I want to watch and I find entertaining, and I don't find you entertaining. I think he linked it to me. Here it is if you didn't happen to see it. But yeah, that's my story out there. Like I said to you at the start of these messages, I'm not interested in bringing any more drama up publicly, continuing yada yada yada. By all means, if you'd like to have me on your show and talk and take, did I say take to me about things that are non-drama related, I'd be done to do that for you. Uh, if and where I can find the time. But I'm not interested in just bringing up old stuff again and again. Hope you can understand that. I think he's just using.
Yeah, he did.
I think that his grammar is. I think he's trying to talk into his phone, maybe.
Probably.
Like speech to text is not working. Bash, come on. You made the whole video to talk about old shit, and I didn't even have to watch it to figure that out. All I had to do is look at the fucking thumbnail. That gives off the whole fucking vibe right there.
Like he put, and I know this is hypocritical from us because like we put in the same effort, but he put in the effort to do the thumbnail, do it all, even though we probably done like 4 times. You know, same thing. But at least we're honest and we have the intention to fucking, bring the shit up. And that's just the whole issue of this, like the lies that Bash has been fucking saying to people. Are you DMing, just trying to spin his shit to, or even try to silence you a bit, saying, "Hey, don't get involved in this," like as if he's some cult leader sort of thing, like, go back to sleep sort of thing.
Which you're not going to fucking do because again, I stick up for the people who I care for the most because that's normal fucking. That's just common courtesy. If somebody you care about is messing with you, get on their ass. I've always been about that, and you ain't gonna keep me from doing it either. Again, I only do it to people
No matter how
who
much
deserve
you
it.
try.
Yes. You're not gonna stop me. It's just me. If you don't like it, tough shit. Again, this is this is like wrestling. Like people get into shit.
This is literally fake wrestling,
Uh, so what I would want you to do is hear through all this, sit your ass down, and think about what you've done, and try to come to the conclusion. Okay, well I've messed up really bad, and I need to either get my act together or just retire and quit. Which some people need to just do. Like I can understand Heron stopping and Rom stopping. They've been doing this shit for what, over a fucking decade. So yeah, they have every right to just quit.
Well, like, even if you don't retire, just do your own fucking shit.
And don't
Get
be a cunt about it. Seriously. Like, I've been doing this for almost 6 years, and I have no intention of stopping now. I only stick around because I care about the people in it, and I still have a lot to do. And again, most of these people are really the only friends I fucking have, and so I stick around because I think it can be a great place to meet people, and
yeah, or like in FAM now or Unite, where just messing around playing Cards Against Humanity. That's literally the only reason why I stick around personally, because of the people. And with that, I think we.
and instead, Bash, you insist on lying, backstabbing, for your own personal benefit and even monetary gain at times. You've only gotten through based off of that. You don't have the best car around. It's not that great. You're a Triple H ripoff. Stop it. Sit down. Have a sip of fucking whiskey or whatever it is. Put your fucking tinfoil put your tinfoil hat on. Relax and fucking think. Take a break from all this shit and just think. We're only doing this to help you, even though I literally right here have a gravestone with your name on it. And you looking really dark and sad, but that's what this series is. And so if you happen to see this,
if you have like what, 2.5 hours spare.
well, we haven't even hit 2 hours yet. Just sit, just think, just sit down and think. And here's what I really want you to do. You can get in contact with me and Kingdom. For the love of God, if you have morals, try to at least think about your actions and try to reconnect with the people who fucking hate your guts and convince them that you've changed. Convince people.
Or have the capacity to change.
Yes. Because it's common courtesy when you have issues with people. Stop it and iron that shit out. Or you're just an asshole the rest of your fucking life. And then you'll die with those secrets in your head and never apologizing to people. It's not going to make you look good. It really isn't. So...
And I think that's the end of it.
yeah, I'm rambling. I'm rambling on. So, folks. Oops. There we go. There's my beautiful face right there. Excuse me, that was another confessional. Number 2. Which we could have just done this, doing anything else. But maybe another time. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who didn't whine and bitch about this. And I guarantee you nobody's gonna watch it either, but oh well. Whatever I get, I'm fine with. So
Zobius off now.
So, we're all gonna pretend we're putting our hands together, praying for Cameron Bash. And just hope that he gets better. That's really all I want. I don't want shit. I just want you to just think about your actions and just be a good person.
I just want this video to end. Please.
Well, again, thank you all for joining us in the land of the unsavables and the land close to sun. Again, I am your resident savior, Joshua Alston, and I bid adieu to you.